Friends, MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. All right, the snowstorm winding down, just a sliver of the southeast part of the state left with some snow. I'll show that to you. Lansing set a record for a February day snowfall, 13 inches of snowfall. And so we had a very notable little, what we call a mesoscale band, a little thin strip of 11 to 13 inches of snow that stretched from about Lansing through Shiawassee County into Genesee County. Flint coming in at about 11 inches. I saw a good report from Kingston. Elliott Hubbard about 11 and a half inches. And Millington about 11 inches. Birch Run about 11 inches too. So little thin band in there. Otherwise, about 6 to 8 in most places. Let's get into it. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update brought to you by Lush Lawn. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. All right, still a winter storm warning in effect for states just to our south, Indiana and Ohio, but all of the warnings have been canceled or dropped for Michigan, and that's good news. The radar shows that we still have in the far southern part of the state, far southeast, from near Detroit, Detroit not reporting any precipitation right now at the airport, but just south of that, you could see the snow still coming, although it's, we're just on the edge of it. And I'll show you a total forecast here for the rest of the day in just a moment, but let's look at some of these totals. And these are from the Grand Rapids area. And you could see Plainwell 12 inches, Battle Creek 10 inches. Let me see what you could see here. Clinton County, that's in that band that stretched from Lansing to Flint. Bath at 11.2 inches. You get into Kalamazoo County, about 9 to 11 inches. Get into the Grand Rapids area, Kent County, looking at about 4 to 7 inches. Right about what was expected, because Kent County all along was expected to be kind of the taper off zone, if you will. Not a lot of reports in yet from the National Weather Service in Detroit. But here you can see Flint at 11 inches, Birch Run 11.2. Oakland County, the Detroit area, about 2 inches lower than what we anticipated. We were anticipating 8 or 9. So far, about 6 or 7. You could still have an inch or so left to fall in those areas. And let's look at that now for the rest of today. This is the high res. Give me a second here. Sorry about that. I did some sort of swipe on my Mac and everything went away. There we go. All right, I think we're back. Technology. Macs are nice, but when you do a little swipe, sometimes they change screens. Okay, here we go. This is the high resolution rapid refresh radar for today. And really the only snowfall south side of Detroit through Monroe, maybe to the Coldwater area. Probably not Jackson as we're going through the afternoon. And could inch northward a little bit. It'd be on the light side. But you can see that persistent snow in the far southeast corner. And that's the only real weather to mention. Here is the total snowfall for today off that high resolution rapid refresh. I'd call it an inch around the south side of Detroit to an additional 2 or 3 inches, maybe in the Monroe area. Everyone else should be dry. I'm watching for the northeast wind and the lake effect, but it does not look like it's going to be significant on our side of Lake Michigan or Lake Huron. It will be over from the Chicago area northward up through Green Bay or so. But no indications that we're going to have that, but we will keep an eye on that because that can be kind of fluky at times. All right, we're back to the squiggly stuff now, and let's see if we have anything going on for the weekend. So the storm system pushing off to the east tomorrow is flurry and snow showery and cold. And an Alberta Clipper comes north of us on Sunday, drives a little bit of a front through, but not much activity at all. So going into a fairly dry period. And there you see some red lines. Yeah, that's a little mild bubble of air coming in Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday. So trying to warm up a touch, but still plenty of cold air poised to the north for the next couple of weeks, I guess I would say. I would say the next couple of weeks will probably feel a lot more like winter than it will preview of spring. Of course, February we know is fully a winter month, but we'll get some breaks in there. We're going to probably get some 30 to 35 degree days, maybe one or two in a row before we go back down to highs in the 20s. So a little balance of everything. Now, here's what I wanted to show you is here's the total snowfall for the next 10 days. And you could see not much additional snow across Michigan the next 10 days. And by the way, that heavy snow to the south, that's the storm that's ongoing right now. But we're talking maybe in the next 10 days, we might pick up another 2 to 4 inches of snow around Michigan in some batches of light snow. So that's really nothing too significant. What about the temperatures? We're going to start to focus on that too, right? Because we're into early February, so we'll start to get that spring fever soon. Here are the high temperatures for today. We're looking at low 20s in southern Michigan, highs only in the teens, 15 or so. Traverse City, single digits across the UP. Then we look at tomorrow, cold. High temperatures only in the teens across lower Michigan, UP as well. Low teens at that in places. Saturday's cold with high temperatures in the low 20s, I guess we'd call it on average. Sunday, touch warmer, upper 20s, maybe some low 30s. Monday, upper 20s to low 30s. And then I showed you Tuesday, the little bit milder air starting to come in. Karen Greenfield, how much snow in all did Detroit receive? Romulus, that's the airport, Detroit Metro, reporting around 6.5 inches as of midnight last night. I think you might get another inch or two, so you probably get up around 7, probably not 8 by the time it's all said and done. And remember, the expectations were for about 9 to 10 in the Detroit area. So I would say the Detroit area was about 2 inches lighter than what we expected. And then the Flint area and Lansing was about 3 inches more than we expected. Let's see. Tuesday in the 30s. Wednesday, maybe 40-degree reading in places. And next Thursday in the upper 30s. And next Friday in the upper 30s. And next Saturday. So there are indications that a little bit of mild Pacific air is going to work in at the ground here next week. Maybe give us a break from some cold. There's certainly still a big reservoir of cold up there, so any storm system would pull that down. But we're starting to see little hints of it. I always look, at this time of the year, I look to our south. I look to Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama. Are the cold fronts making it through there? Well, last week, Florida, southern Florida went down to the freezing mark. But the cold front with this storm system is going to stop about Tennessee and just kind of wash out. And the next cold fronts won't make it there. So the sun's starting to do its thing in the south. It's just that we have a whole lot of a polar cold air reserve up to the north that we'll still obviously have to deal with. I mean, we know it's only February, but in a few weeks, we'll probably look out another couple of weeks and see that we're coming out of the trough, so to speak. Hey, thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Lush Lawn. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great day. Still stay safe on the roads. We've had a lot of snow, and it's cold.